The Hidden Hindu, Book 2 of the trilogy by Akshat Gupta, Chapter 1. Here is Part 2. What was the title of this chapter? It was Land of the Extinct. Now, where did we leave off? I have no idea. There we are. Om was startled at his own epiphany. He had never experienced such potent tranquility and beauty before. He closed his eyes to let the stillness of the surroundings settle on him, but at the exact second, something disrupted the restful water, making him snap his eyes open. The movement was relatively close to him. The metal disc appeared to be melting with a gigantic creature, more than 40 feet long, that seemed to weigh tons, surfaced from the water. It was Stellar sea cow, another extinct herbivorous mammal. The last recorded Stellar sea cow had been sighted at the end of the 17th century. Before Om could register the odd sightings of fauna that had disappeared from the rest of the world, he noticed that the sea cow was casually accompanied by a group of 20-foot-long beige white dolphins, also known as the Chinese river dolphins, lapping towards the shore. As per Om's knowledge, these creatures had been officially declared extinct in 2002. As his eyes followed the dolphins near the shore, he spotted a towering cry-violet plant with thick, light green leaves and light violet flowers. This beautiful species had last been sighted in the 50s. Om was again engrossed in the scene, but the silence didn't last long. Suddenly, dry leaves crunched behind him, and Om turned towards the sound, which was coming from some distant shrubs. The shrubs were coffee lemblini, tall with white blossoms and a peeling papery bark. They were last seen in 1907. He walked a few steps towards the bushes, expecting the dodo or the great auk to be behind them, but he held his steps in a heartbeat once he realized that what he beheld was no flightless bird, but a carnivorous creature, which was almost twice the size of a lion and lived 11,700 years ago. It was the splendid savage, the saber-toothed tiger. Om realized he had become the prey of the beast that could easily tear apart, and there he was, little distance between them. The predator could already smell the fear and hear his heartbeat pounding due to the adrenaline coursing through him. All that was left for the beast to do was pounce and devour. It was now time for the anticipated attack. So the cycle continues repeating itself. As he said this, he ran the stick through the diagram repeatedly, making the strokes deeper. It was an infinity symbol. Om looked all around him and found more such wiped out species. A small bush of Acalypha wildri declared extinct in 2014 beside the Sigillaria tree growing tall, which had existed 383 million years ago. A West African black rhinoceros weighing 1.5 to 2 tons and bearing 2 horns, last seen in Cameroon in 2006 and declared officially distinct in 2011. The Pyrenean ibex that fed mainly on grasses and herbs, the last of its kind, killed in 2000. Om found himself standing amid the most flourishing natural habitat, surrounded by every extinct animal and bird that had once inhabited this earth. Ashwatthama started heading back to where Om had entered the habitation. While Om and the ape-man followed him, Ashwatthama spoke to Om. Om, this is Vrishkapi. He is the last of his clan, called Grishparusha, or Kapi. Kapi, repeated Om, as if one cue, the huge monkey man roared. The ape-man spoke in a voice heavier than a man's bass. He continued, I am the last of Kapi species mentioned in the first lines of Hanuman Chalisa, and also the guardian of the territory of our city, completed Ashwatthama, with a smile reciprocated by the Kapi. Thank you for protecting me, Vrishkapi. I wasn't sure if I would make it, Om said humbly. That was just my cutie. He likes hunting. I just conveyed to him that you're off limits, said Vrishkapi with an innocent smile. You can call that giant cutie? Om raised his eyebrow, tickled by the nickname. Vrishkapi is very creative with names, explained Ashwatthama with a chuckle. "And who are you? What are you doing here?" Cappy turned to Ohm. I am trying to figure that out," stuttered a confused Ohm. When Ashwathama stepped into the tunnel, he walked out of the dusky sky into ample sunshine in a mere step. For a moment, it seemed there really were different time zones. Hardly a few meters of distance had managed to create a stark difference in time perception. It appeared as if there was a transparent wall between Ohm and Ashwathama, which was democrating the territories of sun and moon, day and night, reality and dream. Vrishkapi stood at the invisible boundary and waved goodbye to both of them. He noticed a movement on his right side and shouted at the dodo, "Tara, what have I told you several times not to walk on this side?" In no time, Ashwathama and Ohm were back at the vacant stone platform. Ohm took this opportunity to ask another question. "You mentioned my first home, the abode of Dhanvantari. How did you know that I lived here in the Himalayas?" "We didn't know about your existence till we met him who knew everything about you." Ohm stood clueless as he did not know whom Ashwathama was referring to. Noticing the anxiety on his face, Ashwathama asked, "Would you like to meet him?" At 21,780 feet above sea level, Ohm was not only the curious man in search of answers. There were questions being raised at a distance of approximately 2,772 kilometers from Kailash Parbat, 25,930 feet below sea level too. Nagranda glared at both the books of Mrit Sanjivani open on his lap. He had achieved what he wanted, the secret to immortality, but he still lacked one crucial element, a sample of Ohm's blood. Without that, his plans were in vain. He slapped the book shut in a loud thud. Behind him, Pramila and LSD flinched as they watched the engaged Nagrendra scowl and wondered what he had in mind next.